time, it's one of the greatest commodities.
Welcome to the Living Superfood Show. My name is Umoya, and I'm here with my co-host, the one and only Master Chef, Health and Food Scientist, Kidi Awadu. How you doing today, sir?
Greetings, my brother Umoya. How am I? We like to say we black and we shine.
Nice. So today we're going to be talking about dandelion root. So the first question is, what is dandelion root and what does it look like? Is it considered a weed?
Dandelion root is a fairly common herb. Many people consider it to be a pest, a weed, a yard weed. People are trying to grow the greenest grass, and they're up out of the middle of it. You have these healthy plants just pop up all over the place, producing this bright yellow flower, which disrupts the pattern of looking at your monotonous monocropping of grass in your front yard. Quite often, in quite a few locations, that wonderful flower trying to make its way known is our common yard dandelion. And is it considered a weed? It is by those who don't know what it is. For those who know what it is considered one of the many miracles of nature here to complement our lives.
So how did the dandelion root get its name?
That's an interesting question. I don't think I've ever even pondered it until you ask it. So a quick fact check, we find out that the word dandelion is actually a British derivation of the French, which is, the translation is of a lion's tooth, dent de lion, the lion's tooth. And the reason it is so named is because of the shape of the leaf resembles a lion's tooth. So that's one of the ways that you can tell when you have dandelions growing in your yard. The color will be a pretty consistent green. Of course, it does kind of take on the color of its environment. So if your grass is rich in green, then the dandelion is going to be rich in green as well. And even before the leaf comes up, you'll notice the leaf, before the flower comes up, which is quite obvious, you'll see that the leaves are beautiful, bright and green, and they have a jagged edge that resembles a lion's tooth.
Okay, so my next question was, where does dandelion root grow? So you mentioned, on our yard, lawn, etc. I'm assuming it grows elsewhere, yes?
Well, generally, anytime you're going to find good, lush green grass growing, it's a perfect environment for a dandelion. When it's too cold for the grass to grow, the dandelions are not going to be present. I live in Las Vegas, which is a desert area. So we will have versions of dandelions growing out here, but it's not like the same type of a sweet dandelion that you're going to get growing in a place where grass is growing more often. Of course, I do, when I do see dandelions appearing in the garden, I feed them just as if I'm growing spinach or collards or kale or something else that's going to be delectable. So where do they grow? Where does grass grow? Therein lies the beautiful lion's tooth as well.
Okay. So what vitamins are in dandelion root?
See, the dandelion is an incredible plant, and you're talking about the root, but we recognize that all parts of the plant do produce these compounds. So if we include the leaves along with the root, then there are over 100 phytochemical compounds, phyto meaning plant-based chemicals, so these are manufactured by the plant, beneficial, nearly all of them beneficial, 100 different compounds found in it. But when we're talking specifically about vitamins, dandelions are considered to be an excellent source of vitamins A, which is our body manufactures vitamin A from beta-carotene, vitamin C, which is the most useful and powerful antioxidant, vitamin K, which is used for blood clotting, for modulating and maintaining proper blood clotting function. It's also a very good source of calcium, one of the 8 major minerals in our body, as well as a good source of chlorophyll, which is in the plant world, chlorophyll is an analog of human blood, to the point that us consuming chlorophyll It's just like giving ourselves a blood transplant. So it's just loaded with these critical vitamins necessary for maintaining perfect health.
All right, so for those of you who have never tried dandelion root or dandelion leaves, in my opinion, it has an acquired taste, maybe even a tad bitter. So, Keedy, why is this and what could be done to enhance the taste?
The bitterness we find in the herbs is because the herbs serve a detoxing function. Nearly all of the detoxing herbs that we use on a regular basis have a natural bitterness to them. And that is one of the keys to realizing if it's not toxic, and of course you have to always know what you're eating to make sure it's not toxic, but if it's not toxic, if it's bitter, it's going to be a detoxing agent. And when we talk about the detoxing benefits, among the many benefits of dandelion root and dandelion leaf, it's a natural diuretic. It increases urine flow, anticoagulant because of the vitamin K content. It's also anti-platelet or sticky blood syndrome. It protects against skin disorders and skin protector from radiation, even radiation used in chemotherapy, as well as ultraviolet B radiation from the sun. It's good for protecting against diabetes as it stimulates insulin. There are so many different uses of this miraculously plant that have been identified in both Native American medicine, traditional medicines, as well as traditional Chinese medicine documents these benefits so many times. So that's an indicator of why we would tolerate the bitterness in order to get this broad spectrum of benefits that can be acquired there. So then what can be done to enhance the taste? Of course, many people use it. There are different forms that you can use it. You can get it in tea bags, where it's quite often going to be blended with something else that kind of modulates the flavor, so you're not just getting pure bitterness. You can get it in capsules or in powder form, which allows you to then bypass the taste buds. You can get it in extracts and tinctures as well. And insofar as using the leaf, I will put the leaf into salads. You could use it on sandwiches. You could put it into soups. Any way, by any means necessary, get that dandelion out of pristine earth. Again, if it's growing in your yard, you want to make sure you're not harvesting it from yards, from grass that's been exposed to a lot of chemicals and things. This is definitely something you don't want to use a detoxing agent that itself has been toxified by the use of agricultural chemicals. So to modulate the taste, if the taste is, you still can't get it out, just eat it fast and eat something afterwards to neutralize the bitterness in your mouth. But you're better off having it inside your body, inside your belly. And it also is great for the whole digestive tract, balancing out the digestive tract and making it function much, much better. Traditional Native American medicine, they use it for kidney disease as an anti-inflammatory. They use it to help modulate or regulate breast health and to prevent infections. So it does a lot of things inside of our body, including strengthening our bones because of the high calcium content as well.
All right, so you already answered my next follow-up question, which was outside of salad, what other dishes or other ways can dandelion root be consumed? So I guess we'll go on to the next question.
By any means necessary. You might even be able to talk your significant other into, playing the dandelion game. Make it up into a green paste. You paste it all over each other, and then you find a way to get that inside your body.
Well, there you go. So is dandelion root seasonal, and what environment is the best place for dandelion root to grow?
Yes, it is going to be seasonal. It's pretty much going to follow the gardening season and the grass growing season. Of course, we realize as the winter weather comes upon us, the grass turns brown and the garden falls out of productivity. So dandelion is going to find that same course. It proliferates it's so prolific, I should say, that, one dandelion plant, as you know, the big, beautiful yellow bouquet of a flower turns into these very fine dandelion seeds, which growing up, we'd love to grab those dandelion seeds and blow them and watch them scatter to the wind. So dandelion seeds are going to be ubiquitous. People who are very strict about only wanting grass in their lawn don't like that about dandelion. But for the rest of us, realizing This is one of nature's most miraculous healing and nutritional plants. We love the fact that nature is so generous in making sure everybody's yard gets some dandelion plants.
Okay, so bonus question. I think you've already said it, but I just want to just make sure that people know if they can actually eat this. So is the flower actually edible as well? Just to clarify.
Dandelion flower is edible, and on its own, if it's especially, I'm gonna want to emphasize if your soil is clean, because you don't want to just pick up a dandelion flower off the side of a highway. It's been exposed to a lot of toxic chemicals for years. But if it's clean and that flower is right at the peak of its boom, just go ahead and pick it, and you might want to rinse it off, but you don't have to because it is a liver and kidney detoxicant as well. So you just pop that in your mouth and munch down. It may not be the tastiest thing, but it's not horrible. Now the stem is a little bitter because it's got the milk in it. The milk contains some incredibly powerful phytochemicals. Again, there are over 100 compounds to be found in the whole dandelion plant. But the milky whiteness that's in the stem is going to be extremely bitter, and unless you are using it for some very specific detoxification, most people are going to ignore eating the stem. If I were in an emergency and had to flush out my liver, my kidneys, and other vital organs, I probably would consume that milky part of the stem as well.
Okay. I've gone to the store and I've actually purchased the green leaf from the dandelion. Have you ever seen it in any other colors outside of green?
Sometimes it can be tinted red, and that depends on probably on the soil conditions as well. I know towards the desert you're going to see it taking on more of a red color. That's the iron in the soils coming into it as well. Of course, once the leaves get a little older, they'll start to turn yellow as they're losing their chlorophyll. But in its prime, it's going to be a wonderfully rich green color.
All right. So that's pretty.
And that is, of course, for the leaves. You won't be able to see the roots until you harvest the plant. And, yeah, when you're harvesting dandelion, go ahead and dig down in there and get the roots out of it as well. Many people dry the roots where they will stay. You can keep them in a glass jar. They'll last for some time, and you can grind them up to use for tea or for tinctures or whatever you want to use them in. But the root and the leaves and the flower is all right with me.
All right. So is there anything else that you want to mention before we wrap it up here?
I just want to mention the same thing we say every time. Food is nature's most perfect medicine. And so now, because you've been informed and hopefully excited and inspired by this conversation, you will add dandelion flowers, dandelion leaves, and dandelion root to your food medicine arsenal. Live long, love strong, and stay healthy. Thank you, Brother Umoya.
Hey, thanks, Brother Keaty. And where can the people reach you?
People can reach me on my website, livingsuperfood.com. No S, livingsuperfood.com. Food is nature's most perfect medicine, and medicine ain't never tasted like this before. Enjoy your journey.
All right, thanks, Keaty. We appreciate your time. This is the Living Superfood Show, and until then, everybody take care.